Okay, now it's going. So the stream is back. Well, it's not exactly back. I actually made a mistake inside the stream. I set the privacy as unlisted, but now it's public and available to everyone. So yeah, apologies for that. I'm gonna have to redo all the introductions. So well, qualifying has already started about 10 minutes ago, and there's 7 minutes and a half left to go. And yeah, we are starting the second half of the season. This is round number 7 for season 15 in Division 1. And as you can see, we are here in Las Vegas under the night sky and under the lights. And we have a full grid after a very long time with many new drivers joining, some of them returning. Well, the new drivers are Oliver, Chris's, Tim, Jake, Thomas, Dylan, Ray, and Krizu and Lando. And there is also Morgan, who is returning after a short break. And yeah, with many drivers joining, we actually went back to a full grid made up of 20 cars, which is very lovely. And with a street track like Vegas, where you go very close to the wall, I think we will be in for a very exciting race. Safety cars will be very likely to come out at some point. So now I can finally send the stream link. I wasn't able to do it earlier because of a mistake in setting up the stream, but now it's all good. So yeah, so okay, now we will focus on the last parts of qualifying. 6 minutes now left on the clock, and at the moment it's Oliver Knott reserving for VCARB on provisional pole position with a 1 minute and 39.8. Our main championship contenders, Felix and Kart Racer, are in the least ideal position. Lando looks like he has crashed at turn 15 and 16, and Team Surnemo has moved up into provisional pole position with a 29.6. Jeremy has returned in the pits, and Felix and Kart Racer are not exactly doing good. They are fighting for a championship and they are pushing the car to the limit, but they are so far off of pole position. Felix is 1.1 seconds off of P1 and Kart Racer 1.5 just in P11. Like, all of the new guys that joined have really improved the level. So yeah, it will be definitely a difficult task for Felix and Kart Racer. They are both hunting their 5th title this season, and this race has just made everything so much harder for them. But at the same time, it's Las Vegas, a street track, a very fast street track, and very easy to make mistakes in the corners. You have to take them with low downforce because of the extremely long straights that you need to maximize. So mistakes could come out from everyone, and I won't be surprised at all if we see a safety car and many crashes, which with 20 cars I do think it will be very often. So a very chaotic race maybe, but definitely a fun one no matter what happens. So it doesn't look like anyone is pushing at the moment. Flavors has invalidated his lap time, and there is a Red Bull of Morgan, who is on the out lap. There is also another car. It is Kart Racer in the Williams with the out lap, and with 4 minutes left, I think this might just be the last run they will be able to set, because yeah, they just don't have enough time to settle up, go back into the pits with the in lap. Go back into the pits, which already takes about a minute or so because it is so slow to go back into the garage. Set the new tires, do the out lap, and start it before the timer reaches 0. Yeah, definitely not. So this will be indeed the last run for the cars who go out on track at the moment. And Kart Racer is down in P11. Definitely not a position he's used to be. 1.5 seconds off of pole position. the standard has just improved so much with these new drivers joining today, with many of them reserving and some of them taking a full-time seat. And well, at the moment I can't exactly remember who is who, but now we will go on board for a lap around Las Vegas with Carl Tracer into the Williams. Starting the lap, turn 1, the rundown is very short. You brake up into down into third gear, and a very big slide coming out of the corner in fourth, and almost staying flat out into fifth, and DRS enabled out of turn 4, overtake mode as well, and you finish off sector 1, braking for turn 5, staying in 4th gear, taking the inside apex very nicely, and Carl Tracer improves by just 84 thousandths. Now into turn 6 and 7, trail braking is absolutely fundamental here. Turn 7, 8 and now 9, probably one of the slowest sections, so the slowest corners of the track, but now we go flat out. It's turn 10 and turn 11, and at the exit you already need to set yourself up good for the braking of turn 12, and a massive rear lock and very close to the wall from Carl Tracer there. And we finish off sector 2. I actually didn't see the improvement, but sector 3 now has started, and you just go flat out onto the straight. You reach a maximum speed of, let's see, for Carl Tracer it's 325 km per hour. Chryso gets a 5-place grip penalty for a collision with Dylan Ray, and Carl Tracer has a massive slide out of turn 15. That's not exactly a good lap for him. I don't think he will improve his lap time. Yes, he does not. There is a lot of traffic on the strip, on the Las Vegas Boulevard. Just telling something real quick. So yeah, Sim is now on provisional pole position, and he has just one car ahead of him and many cars behind him. Morgan has retired into the pits. Now Sim, he will have some traffic from Jake just ahead, who is starting the lap, but we will stay on board with our provisional pole sitter for a lap around Las Vegas, again into turn 1, braking down into third gear and stopping the car very much, and sliding on the exit and almost flat out through turn 3 and 4, the Rochelle Avenue intersection, and into the common lane straight we go, and Tim using all the drifting available from the Sauber ahead and brakes for turn 5 into third gear and gets a very good exit, but he actually does not improve. He's down by 50 thousandths. Oliver Knott improves himself and goes up into provisional pole position. Jake goes off the track while Tim still needs to drive behind him, and he has a massive slide coming out of turn 9, but now we go into 10th Avenue around the Venetian Hotel for turn 10 and 11, still flat out and braking for turn 12. A lot of engine braking for the Alpine, but he has a very good exit for the Las Vegas Boulevard, the famous strip, and he uses all his drifting available from Jake ahead, who is 6/10, almost 7/10 off of pole position, but Tim only needs to improve by 18 thousandths. He opens the RS, uses the overtake and overtakes Tim as well on the straight, and he reaches a top speed of 349 km per hour, but now brakes for turn 14, 15 and 16 and gets a very good exit once again. We are approaching the last seconds of a lap, maybe good enough for pole position for Tim Sonema across the finish line. It's a 29.4, improving by almost 2/10 and gets pole position. Oliver Knott locks out the front row in P2. Chrysis finishes in P3, and what a sight, but what a fast qualifying this was here around Las Vegas. lap times just became so much faster with these new drivers, and look at that, it's a 29.4 from Tim for pole position, and Oliver stays in the front row in P2 with a 29.6, but Chrysis has a 29.8. He will start in P3. Krizu actually has a 5 place grid penalty, but his lap time would have been good enough for P4. Dinare in P5 and Jake in P6, Thomas in P7, and then we go with our one of the contenders for the championship, Felix in P8, and we have Morgan, Pisawili, Dylan, Jeremy, Sally, Catches, Shamul, Flavors, Always, Badzuka, Lando, and Actionik. I had to rush them real quick. But yeah, Felix and Cat Racer will definitely have a one of the most difficult races probably, because of the so much drivers, so much faster drivers. But now they are set in the strategies, which I do think will be very likely medium hard. Maybe even doing setup changes under the power frame regulations, because those little tweaks you could do to the setup could actually make the difference, especially at such a difficult track like this, Las Vegas. And our championship contenders are sitting in P8 and P11, I think. And Cat Racer needs to defend a lead of 21 points from Felix in P2, and it's actually Shalmul in P3, 2 points ahead of Jeremy. But Shalmul is 59 points behind Cat Racer, so the fight for the title will be again between the two Germans, Cat Racer and Felix, but they have a very difficult challenge ahead of them. 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go, and the team tries to defend pole position, but Oliver and Chris are already going side by side into turn 1. They go, and the V-Cab stays ahead, and there is a lot of traffic going on around the first corner. The cars ghosting into each other, Morgan and Chris, and the Aston Martin almost going into the wall. There is some wing left flying, I'm not sure from which car, but team has protected pole position, and look at that, so many cars going side by side through these corners, through some 5 down the straights. There is still some cars ghosting. Oh, there is some content and some debris at the back. Flavors is into the wall with barely a front wing at all. The two McLarens at the back, Shamul going off track down in P16 and in P17, many position changes. Haas almost into what that is Lando, but he still has his front wheel, and a Ferrari and a Haas and a Williams with no front wheel, and it's a virtual safety car. An extremely chaotic start to this Las Vegas Grand Prix. We have the two Ferraris at the back. They barely have a front wing, so does Felix down in P18 with half a front wing left, and also the Williams of Shamul with no front wing at all. The same goes for the Haas of Lando. There is so much debris across the track, and it's a terrible start for Felix down in P18, and Cat Racer now has a chance of maximizing from it. He still has an inside front wing and is up into P8. Let's look at the position changes, because obviously Felix was the one to lose the most, and Cat Racer and Ashrik were the ones to win the most. Now let's look at the tires. Everyone on mediums apart from Lando, but we will see many pit stops. And just as the green flags comes back, now the drivers had to go back into the pit to fix the front wing. It's absolutely terrible timing for them. Thomas and Dylan fighting for position. Shamul gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's already absolute chaos after only one lap here in Las Vegas. Team is trying to cruise into the distance, defending from Critter, and Oliver brushes the wall, and Jake has a little oversteer out of turn 5, but still on track and still trying to chase the leaders and the podium sitters ahead of him. The two Aston Martins are very close to each other. 2 tenths are separating Dylan and Krizu, but now let's look at the gap between Flavors and Sean Mull, because it's 18 seconds. Flavors has not pitted. He has barely a front wing at all, and he hasn't pitted. Not sure what strategy Ferrari is trying to pull off tonight. DRS is already enabled, so we will see a massive slipstream train on the Las Vegas Boulevard. It's a DRS train all the way down to P13, and Chris goes side by side and claims the lead of the race, and Tim has to back out and come back to the original line, to the normal racing line. So down in P2 he goes, and now it's a Sauber in the lead of this race, but Tim actually tries to look on the inside, and they still go wheel to wheel, and Oliver tries to find a gap as well. Into turn 1 they go, and wheel to wheel the Alpine and the vehicle of Tim and Oliver, but Tim stays ahead in P2, and it does look like we are already starting to see some groups to separate from each other, because Jeremy is losing DRS in P9, 1.1 seconds. Now 3 cars going wheel to wheel through turn 5. Still Chris and Tim fighting for the lead of the race, and Oliver trying to find a gap. Eventually, at some point, at some part of the track, he's riding out of the curb. DC Varro has joined, but he will be very, very surprised. And we have another virtual safety car. It's a Ferrari going slowly. It's Flavors once again. Not sure up, and but we have a virtual safety car, so race has been neutralized. Oh, Dylan Ray! No front wing at all for the Aston Martin. He's down into P14. Definitely some contact must have happened, as Dylan is out of the points and with no downforce on the front of the car whatsoever, and the race has been neutralized for the second time now in 3 laps. DC Varro now will be looking at this and will be very surprised that he has a full grid and is not able to join. Well, he couldn't join in the first place because the race has already started, so he should have joined in qualifying. But again, he will be spectating with me, maybe not commentating, but he will definitely see some surprises, as there is a wing left flying. There must have been some contact under the virtual safety car, and it looks like it's from Krizu. Krizu is missing the right end plate on his car. There probably must have been some contact, even under the yellow flags that are being waved. And even with the drivers respecting the delta, still some contact happens. Catchacer is in P7 and has a chance of using the RS on this very, very fast group ahead of him. And there we go, and actually he gets a 10-second penalty, spinning in pit lane, but green flags are being waved. We are back racing, and it's Chris who is leading this reset, and Chris goes very, very close to the wall, almost understeering into the barriers. Jake is ghosting, and he's down in P9. He might have had a oversteer, some mistake that made his car ghost, and he's down into P9. but Catches now is up into P6, and he needs to stay into this DRS train. Jeremy won't be able to attack him behind, but he will be able to attack Krizu ahead of him with this massive slipstream coming around the Las Vegas Boulevard. Chris will be very much under pressure from many cars behind. And now Jake, Morgan and PC Willie and Jeremy as well, almost going 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide on the Las Vegas Boulevard. Morgan does not have DRS from Catches ahead, and he has to defend from the Sauber of Jake, who goes on the inside and back on the outside. He goes, and the Mercedes trying to look for a gap. Jeremy trying to overtake the Sauber, but he actually has a oversteer coming out of turn 16, and he has lost some time. And so now this leaves Morgan with a chance of going up the inside of turn 1. They still go wheel to wheel, the Mercedes and the Red Bull on the line, and into turn 1 they go, and Morgan has the inside line, and it looks like he's pulling off ahead, but he's missing an end plate. It's also reduced downforce for the Red Bull of Morgan, who is missing the right end plate on his car, but he's still into the RS of Jake. And look at that, Sully in P11 now, chasing these cars ahead of him and being very cautious to not go into the back of them. But Oliver is still on the podium and trying to overtake Tim and Chris as soon as possible. GRS will be on as they go onto the strip, so Slipstream will still do its part. And we are already, we are only in lap 5 out of 25, and so many overtakes and so many battles are happening throughout the entire grid. And very surprisingly, with 2 virtual safety cars, we still have no retirements, only damage, only front wings that are being left on the track, left and right, but everyone is still inside the race. Dylan gets a 3-second time penalty, Dylan Ray, for a track limits warnings, and now Oliver takes the lead for a double overtake. He goes, and Simo, Oliver has a massive oversteer, because now this leaves Tim to claim back the lead of the race, and Chris is up into P2. Look at that, they almost go for wide on the straight that leads into zone 1. They're changing lines at absolutely every moment. They still go with Will. Chris has the inside line to try and overtake Oliver and Tim. They still go with Will. We don't know who's gonna be ahead. Chris now has the outside line compared to Oliver, and he still stays in P3. But Oliver is only less than a tenth behind. They all have DRS. Who is gonna stand it on the braking? Oliver almost his. Yes, they go with Sweden and has almost a better exit if it wasn't for that oversteer. So he will stay in P4. And what a battle this is between the entire top 6. These all new drivers, except from Catchers, who will be using this chance massively to extend his lead from Felix, who is down in P17 at the moment. Yellow flags being waved. Dylan into the wall, and with no front wing once again, and now it's a safety car, and this has changed everything completely, because now the race has been neutralized for the 3rd time in only 6 laps, but now it's full course safety car. So drivers will definitely use this chance for a free pit stops to go onto the hards, and also change the front wing for who needs to change the front wing. And the hard tires will have to race for around 20 laps, maybe a little less. But it's definitely a free pit stop for the medium runners. And Tim actually has slight wing damage. He's missing an end plate. I didn't notice, but it would be a very difficult situation for the Alpine drivers. But Thomas overtakes his teammate into the pit lane, which now leaves Tim losing a lot of time because of the double stack. So civil war going between the Alpine teammates, because Tim will lose so much time, and he does not change his front wing. He just needs to change his tires from mediums to the hards he goes. So Thomas is into the lead, and Oliver in P2. Chris is in P3, Chris in P4, Catchers has moved up into P5. Tim went on to the mediums. Interesting strategy choice. He still has a half a damaged front wing, but goes with the medium tires. He does not use the safety car, and a car just teleported. What? Thomas just what? What? Thomas just teleported from P1 to P9. What has happened? I don't know how is that possible, because I mean, surely lag cannot be that bad to teleport you from the lead to P8. You cannot have such a bad lagging situation. It just looks weird to me. I don't know. Did always teleport into P7? All of a sudden? No, I don't think he did. Don't know what happened. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly keeping track of the position changes because it looks very weird, but yeah. So on lap 7 out of 25, we still have 20 cars all on track behind the safety car. And Tim goes into the pits. Tim changes his front wing and goes from mediums to hards. And that is such a good position for the Alpine driver, just ruined. He goes down to P18. He already lost a lot of time behind his teammate with the double stack, but now he decides to drop completely down the order. And down in P18 he goes. So there are still pit stops happening around the back of the grid. Obviously they don't lose as many positions, so might as well just be worth it. And for some reason, Dylan and Tim keep going side by side under safety car. They keep exchanging position. Why are they going so much side by side? What are they doing? Why is Tim always overtaking? What is Tim doing? What are they doing? Sim just tried to overtake Dylan so often under safety car, and they even made contact. Well, nothing happened, but I don't know. Safety car is in this lap, so Oliver will lead this restart. He's wheeling on the straight before the last corner. And now he goes around the last corner, so it's an extremely late safety car restart, and Oliver has gone, and Chris didn't sleep, so his restart is good. He's very close, and there are many position changes across the grid, and Jakey gets a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. I think he might have already took someone under yellow flags, and he give back the position, and there's a car off track. It's a Red Bull. Morgan going off track, going very wide on the left hand side of turn 5, and I can't keep up with all these positions. Basil gets into the wall, seeing gets a 10-second penalty, so does Morgan. So what has happened? There are so many 10-second penalties. What? There are so many 10-second time penalties for ignoring yellow flags, for overtaking and not giving back the positions. Is this a glitch? I don't know. Are we even racing? Because I don't know. Oh, what? The safety car is still on track. Where did it cut? What? I am very much confused at the moment. The safety car just spawned. I don't remember seeing it coming out to the pit. I have no idea what happened. Absolutely no idea. The cars went around turn 5, and you go out to the pits, and Jeremy with a penalty as well. I mean, the cars definitely went past the pit. They were still racing after they went past the pit lane. So the safety car comes in. I have no idea what has happened. This game is just so glitched, and there is such a big gap from one group to another. Some cars are pitching, some are not. What is happening? There are so many penalties flying left and right, and the grid is just split between two groups, actually decided in the pit lane, and apparently we have another safety car restart out of nowhere, and well, Oliver leads this restart, but it's still very much chaotic. As there's an Alpine Thomas going off track and gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. And we have many cars at the back with still 10-second penalties like Jake, Tim, Morgan, even always in the midfield. Now Stallion, oh, there's a winglet flying, I think, from the Aston Martin of Krizu there. Coming around turn 7, this is on the video. Yeah, half a front wing is missing on the Aston Martin. Quite literally, half a front wing is missing. And cars are even ghosting into each other. There is such a massive slipstream train onto the Las Vegas Boulevard. And cars are even going through each other to try and fight for position, but Thomas stays ahead, but there's so much and there's a Sully into the wall, he goes going sideways, and we have also PC Willie being sideways and a virtual safety car. We are done. It's another safety car. This has been the most chaotic. We are not even in the second half of the race, and this has been just pure chaos. Utter chaos up until now. So there are lots of trucks into the pits, changing the front wings, changing the tires and serving the penalty. This is just class league racing right there. I don't even know if this is the 4th or 5th time the race got neutralized. The Morgan returns into the pits. He does not want to go forward, and well, I couldn't blame him with all of the penalties and all of the chaos happening. Absolutely baffled. I just don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I don't even know how to explain it. I think we had 2 safety cars and 2 virtual safety cars without even completing the first half of the race. So it's Oliver in the lead, followed by Chris's Thomas and Car Tracer, and Flavors and Underwear exchanging position. Why are there so many position changes? It's a safety car. And Lando still tries to go side by side with Flavors. There are still some cars into the pits like Dylan and PC Willie. Carters is up into 4th, Felix is into 9th, and Jeremy down to last in 18th. And Chris is ghosting for some reason. Oh, now it's back to normal. I don't think we will have the safety car in this lap because Jeremy is still very much far behind, so it will be an extra lap under yellow flags. And Oliver almost goes side by side with the safety car. He cannot wait to go back racing, and he almost rear-ends the safety car. And he goes side by side. Oliver and Bernd Highlander fighting for P1 at the moment. And what is happening with Chris Williams' team? Why is Tim still trying to overtake under safety car? Why does he go so often side by side? He has been doing that earlier, and ooh, look at that! See Ben Dylan, it looks like they're racing, but it's a safety car. And Bazaka and Jake too, and they make contact on the straight. What has happened? Jake has a damaged front wing as Bazaka overtook him back under the safety car, and Oliver will have to lead the restart. Morgan has disconnected. Bazaka and Jake still fighting for. Why are they going side by side through the safety car restart? I have no idea what is happening, but we are now starting the second half of this race. There is the Kart Racer ghosting being overtaken by the Hasses. Safety car is back into the pits. Oliver will lead this very chaotic restart. Bazaka and Jake still trying to overtake each other. And the Las Vegas Grand Prix is go again. Oliver maintains the lead, but there's a Ferrari. This Flavors is trying to send it on the inside of the two Hasses. We have 5 cars, 6 cars on the hards. The rest is on the mediums. It's actually 7 cars on the hards. And almost, well, the top 4 now is on the hards, but Lando has the mediums. And Jake gets a penalty for overtaking under safety car, under yellow flag conditions. Now Dylan sends it on the inside of Flavors. He goes up into P6. And Sully with an oversteer moment. Now he gets overtaken by Phoenix and Krizu. We'll be looking forward to an overtake again. The Mercedes and the Aston Martin of Sully and Krizu go side by side. Dylan has crashed. He has crashed around the section with the dome, with the sphere. And I think we reached the limit, the maximum safety car amount. Because it's a DNF on track and no yellow flags have been waited, so I think this will be just a sprint up until the end. And Chris is into the wall. Krizu trying to fight with Jay for position, and Krizu has no front wing and he's down in P17. Now Tim and Sully fighting for position. Sully in P10, Tim in P9. Phoenix is back up into P7 while Kart Racer is up into P5. Now Owens and Jeremy fighting on the back straight as well, as Owens tries to defend P12 and tries to get close to Jake to overtake him later on in the race. Sully is in P10 and Tim in P9. Oliver has still maintained the lead, so he's still P1. Now DRS is enabled, so this massive 15 train will go forward. Jeremy into the wall with no front wing, and he actually goes back into a 180 spin. And is he trying to cause a safety car? Because he stopped on track. But I do think, yeah, this is definitely the maximum amount of safety cars. Definitely. We have a DRS train from P1 to P6. Actually, Dylan now is losing DRS to Kart Racer. Interesting, because yes, the mediums and Kart Racer has the Haas, so theoretically the Haas of Dylan should be able to gain that distance, but it's actually not doing that. Felix is going into the DRS range. Thomas Lang has a 3-second time penalty, 4 track limits, so this will move Car Chaser up into the podium now. DRS will be enabled and Tim tries to go for a move on Felix on the Las Vegas Boulevard. The vehicle drops down to P8, but now DRS is enabled for both of them. Still many overtakes going around at the back with Flavors, Jake and the Mercedes of Sully as well. And Flavors defends P9 from Jake and Sully. But he's being chased very, very close. Now Shimon Bazooka. Bazooka into the wall! But he's still in the race. He's still in, but he has no front wing. He needs to go back into the pits. Jeremy has crashed at turn 9. And well, this is the confirmation that the safety car has reached his maximum amount. Bazooka gets a 10-second penalty for spinning the pit lane. Penalties are absolutely flying left and right between every single driver, almost every single driver. And Bazooka has retired into the pits, so we are down to 5 DNFs into this extremely chaotic, extremely confusing Las Vegas Grand Prix, as we now have 10 laps left to the end of this race, and Oliver is still trying to defend his win with Chris following behind. Thomas and Lando are only defending a virtual position with the penalty, because Car Chaser will jump them once the 3 seconds gets applied at the end of the race. Felix now has a chance of to recover, to gain back, and Flavors almost going sideways onto the curb, but he still keeps it on track. Will Chris go for a move with the DRS on the back straight? No, he will not. He's too far behind, so he just needs to stick behind and follow very, very cleanly. And Chris has disconnected. Chris has dropped out of the race due to technical issues, due to connection issues, and his AI will now drop him down so much down the order. P4, now P5. So now this is Car Chaser with a chance of grabbing P2. Now Tim goes past as well into P5, he goes. Felix should be able to overtake him soon. Sully has assistance from Jake going around turn 10 and 11. He could have a chance of DRS on the back straight, but so could Jake, because he's now 8 tenths behind Dylan. Let's see what the Sauber can do. He should have DRS enabled. I guess he does. So it's a reduced chance for Sully to try and gain back. Now Dylan overtaking Felix on the Las Vegas Boulevard, as Dylan goes up into P7 and 2.5 seconds, 2.6 actually behind Chris, but Felix is so much behind the Haas of Dylan. He takes all the slipstream. Will he go for a move down into turn 1? It's a very risky one, and he will not take the chance, he will not take the risk. He stays in P8 at the moment. Now Car Chaser overtaking Lando on the cover lane straight. Car Chaser now is up into P3, but Lando stands it back on the inside, and Car Chaser has to slam the brakes to avoid going into the wall. And he goes down in P5 with Lando just sending it at the last possible moment after he was overtaken. And Car Chaser had to take avoiding action to the car of Lando and to the wall as well. So a very, very risky one indeed. Oliver still defending the lead, but Thomas will now go past him. Who will have DRS? It looks like it's gonna be Oliver. Yes, he will have DRS on Thomas. He was behind at the DRS detection point, so now he will open his rear wing, go side by side, and Thomas brakes extremely early to be behind him. Jake overtakes Felix as well on the strip. Carchester tries to claim back the position while Thomas tries to go for a move for the lead of the race, and he does just that as Thomas now is into the lead, but he still has the 3-second track limits penalties that will drop him down behind Oliver and maybe even behind Tim and Carchester. Carchester has overtaken Lando, so he's now in P4 and he still has DRS to try and overtake Tim ahead of him. Felix and Jake now fighting for position. Now Felix puts Jake between himself and Dylan, so Dylan will lose some time if he doesn't get past quick. So this might be a strategy for Felix to try and not be attacked from behind. Oliver reclaims P1 around turn 9, around the sphere. Lando gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Let's see the penalties of everyone. 6 seconds for Thomas and Lando, 3 seconds for Shamul and Krizu, and 10 seconds for Jake. Thomas and Oliver going side by side once again on the strip. Krizu and Lando as well fighting, as well as Jake and Felix, who exchange position once again on the strip as Felix stays in P8. And he's losing time from Lando because he has the penalty. Oh, actually never mind, Lando goes back into repeats. So it's a free position game for Felix as he goes up into P7, and even if he doesn't overtake Jake, he will be ahead of him currently in P6. But what he will be very angry about is the fact that he's losing so much time from Carchester and, well, the rest of the field ahead. Chris is pretty much on his own. He has no DRS from behind and no DRS compared to the guys in front. And Felix ghosting, I think he might have had an oversteer out of turn 5, as he was slowing down a little bit. Oliver with a very subtle brush to the wall at turn 12, a very particular way of exiting the corner. Thomas has the DRS enabled, he enables it right now. He goes for the inside line and he claims P1 once again. Jake and Felix still fighting for position, none of them has DRS, and Jake is trying to defend. And he has no end plates. He has no end plates on both sides, and he's still trying to defend. Felix will be very mad about that one. He needs to get past as soon as possible. Look at that, there are 4 cars fighting for the podium and for the win at the moment. 3 of them are on the hards, 1 of them is on the mediums. At this stage I think the hards should be the faster tire because of less tire wear. But Oliver gets a 3-second time penalty and this is massive. This has played a crucial role in Oliver's chance of winning this race. He looked very comfortable for 21 laps, but now he has a 3-second time penalty because of track limits. So now this leaves the team and Carchester in contention for the win. Unless Team and Kart make a mistake, they look like the ones more viable to win this race. Oliver has the DRS and he goes past Thomas. But it's only a virtual lead of the race because of that penalty that he could have avoided And the yellow flags as Thomas. Oh, there's a massive crash at the chicane. There is Thomas DNF and Tim being sideways and turning around with a 180 spin. Absolutely a nightmare for Alpine. And now Car Chaser is effectively into the lead of the race. This would have been definitely a safety car, maybe even a red flag if he was enabled. And Tim has retired into the pit lane as well. But now Car Chaser, it was very difficult conditions for both Car Chaser and Felix, who are giving it absolutely everything to try and maintain their championship fight alive. Jake has a massive rear lock, braking for turn 5. He now goes and he's into P5, so this is Felix with a bigger gap from behind, but he has an even bigger gap ahead from Crisis. Car Chaser will be looking forward to win this race, and Oliver still brushes the wall on the exit, and so does Crisis, and he actually DNFs. He clips the wall with his rear tire and DNFs, and now this leaves Felix back on the podium. We thought it would have never happened. We thought it would have been absolutely impossible for Car Chaser and Felix to maximize such a difficult situation with so many fast drivers, but they made so many mistakes, and Felix and Car Chaser have not. So they are still in the podium and still maintaining their championship hopes alive. Car Chaser should be set to win this race, and Felix is fighting. Well, not fighting, he just needs to bring home this P3 with Jake's penalty. And we start lap 23 out of 25, 2 laps left, 23 laps of utter pure chaos from start to finish. PC Willie with DRS enabled, still trying to take the slipstream out of Sully, but not quite enough to try and make a move. And oh, there's a has gone into the wall. Dylan being spun around at the sphere section, and I think he has down to the front wing. Yes, he's missing the right hand plate and he's down in P8, and oh, that's a shame. Could have been a decent result for him. P2 will get a penalty as well. Now he will drop down behind Dylan in P8 probably. Felix still fighting, still using DRS to try and overtake Jake, even if he doesn't need to because of the penalty. PC Willie has a look up the inside of Sully, but he backs out and goes back to the normal racing line. Lap 24 out of 25, Chris, who has crashed as well at turn 12. We are down to 8 DNFs, 9 DNFs actually. Oh, Jake has a massive oversteer moment out of turn 5, a very big wobble, but now this has given Felix the chance to overtake, but he has a look up the inside and backs out, and Sully with a massive stand on the inside that was so late on the brakes, and almost rear-ended Felix, but luckily he was able to steer to turn despite the hard braking zone, and luckily he did not go into the back of anyone. It could have been a massive crash very quickly. Oh, now PC Willie and Sully still fighting for position. It looks like PC Willie has a better exit, but Sully tries to use some energy to try and stay ahead. They both have DRS, so they're both on equal conditions in terms of slipstream, but now we are starting the last lap of this extremely chaotic Las Vegas Grand Prix. Dylan gets a 3-second time penalty, but he should not lose any positions. Oliver has been for most of the race into the lead, but he has a penalty that will cost him dear as Kart Racer, who has kept it the most consistent. No mistakes at all. All of the fast drivers, all of the NLR drivers who joined last minute today, who look very, very fast, but either with mistakes on their own or mistakes racing with other drivers, causing many incidents, and with many of them retiring. Kart Racer hasn't done any of that. He just kept it consistent from start to finish and just let the path ahead of him being cleared very easily, and now he will use this chance to win this race and gain some extremely important points of Felix. DRS will be enabled once again, but he does not need to overtake him. He just needs to bring him home. So does Felix. Jake will be put under pressure and be overtaken by the cars behind with DRS as Felix goes up into P3 on track, and in the meanwhile at the end of the circuit Oliver Knott crosses the line in first, but Kart Racer wins this extremely chaotic Las Vegas Grand Prix, and Felix overtakes Jake on track as well, and he will go home to claim P3. It is still a podium. It didn't look possible, but he still did it. Jake crashes at the absolute end of the race and drops down to 8th. Owens gets a very beautiful P4, and Sully finishes in P5, Piswell in P6, Dylan in P7, Jake crashes in P8, Flavors takes 2 points in P9, and Lando in P10, and Shamol will drop behind Lando and outside of the points, and the rest it's all a DNF. But Kart Racer wins one of the probably the toughest race I have ever seen in F1 Total in Division 1 in a very long time. So difficult conditions, but Kart Racer has done it. He has proved why he won 3 championships in a row, and he's on charge to win his 5th. I think he gets my driver of the day because it was a very deserving performance. And so we go onto the podium with the Williams driver once again spraying champagne on the top step of the podium with his long-time rival Felix, who didn't finish just behind. He finished in P3, but his provisional teammate Oliver grabbed important points for the constructors. But look at that, Kart Racer all the way down from P14. He hasn't made a single mistake and let all of the others make mistake ahead of him, so he wins a very deserved race win for Kart Racer here in Las Vegas. He gets 25 points, and Oliver takes 18 points for the team, and Felix closes in P3. Always in P4, 12 points for the McLaren driver and 10 points for the Mercedes driver. Sally in P5, Piswell in P6, Dylan in P7, Jake in P8, Flavors 2 points for him in P9, Lando 2 points, P10 with the fastest lap, and Shamol in P10, while everyone else behind DNF'd. And that was one of the most chaotic races I have ever seen in a long time, let me tell you that. But we are not even done with the street tracks in the calendar, because next up it is Baku, and then it will be Monaco, but that's gonna be in 2 weeks time. In 1 week's time it is gonna be Baku. And well, hopefully Division 2 is not as chaotic as Division 1 was. On Wednesday Felix should be able to commentate, and I will be racing in Las Vegas. But you will hear from me again next week in Saturday for round number 8 around Baku. Thank you for watching tonight's stream, and we will see you again next week. Goodbye everyone, and have a good rest of the evening.